Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'll be doing another fairy tale review, of course, reaction 482, and this chapter is called Vigor. So at the top of page one, of course, we see Natsu screaming giant fish. Obviously, if you know Natsu usually goes fishing most of the time to get food for, of course, his trusty sidekick next to him. Of course, this chapter is mostly about Vigor, but let's see what it actually means. And the picture might actually be a hint to what it actually means as well. So let's progress onto page two, and let's get started with this chapter, shall we? All right, page three, which I think is a fan art. Not I think, probably should be a fan art. Yeah, I was right, fan art. But looks amazing though. So let's see here, page four, more fan art. See what page five has to offer today for us. Whew. All right, at the top of page five, action sequence, of course, the unforgettable past and the pain that comes with their own memories or obstructing the path to the future. So, is that really the best you can do? You two may have grown up, but your magic still is child's play. At that level, you're still a far cry from taking me down, boys. Basically, so brought to you by, of course, Manga Machine. This is not a sponsor, of course. I'm just reading it as it's printed onto the manga itself in my tablet, of course. It's my tablet. I'm still waiting for my computer, by the way, which is my PC, which is hilarious. So yeah, I'm a part of savvy tech guy and myself, pretty much. So I'm just waiting for that new Dell Windows computer to come by, Windows 10, so I can do more high def videos and start doing proper introductions to my videos. It should be happening within probably as soon as possible, probably as May, most likely. But for now, we lay in wait because I had the chance to customize it and all that stuff. So your snap out of it, that thing ain't So apparently they're so hurt that they can't even speak properly at this point. So I'm well aware this is obviously the works of the magics of an enemy, but Rosencrone, even so, Rosencrone, her magic and abilities are the spitting image of herself. The two of us aren't the same as we were back then. So her technique is basically a spitting image of herself, a reflection of herself, what she feels in her heart, basically. That's what her magic really is. So let's continue on to page seven, and we have more action sequences and more dialogue going on here. We can and will overcome this obstacle. That is nothing but an enemy who happens to look like her. I like how they keep saying her instead of her. It's kind of funny. Great. I won't allow you to drag our master's name through the mud any longer. So apparently she has something against him, dragging their master's name in vain, basically, and she wanted to end that. Apparently she could not, and now the enemy's trying to make up with it by using something called Historia, which basically using um, um, embedded souls to actually bring back these characters from the past so they can actually wind up fighting them. So the question is, how are they going to take down this enemy, and how are they going to put an end to his shenanigans of using basically the past as a way to fight his own battles? Zancro, I was certain that back at Tenor Island, yeah, that's right, I died. What's it to ya? And that's exactly why. I've got a bone to pick with you, living so carefree like that. The voices of the dead are reverberating across the battlefield. We see a whole bunch of enemies here, which is very hard for me to remember their names because, quite frankly, this guy with his Historia technique, he just pretty much came by and he just said, yeah, he's my Historia technique, and I pretty much can bring anybody that I view from the past, but here's the catch, you're going to have to fight them. So basically I have so many enemies here, and I'm still trying to remember their names. Some of them came back to me, some did not, but it's pretty hard to remember all the names of the characters within a series, especially when they don't actually like that all in one, arc, especially. So to think that I would become a puppet, how utterly amusing. That's for creating the dead like this. It's despicable. So we have an action sequence. I can't move my leg. What is it with you fairy tale founders? Can't you just lie down in your grave and stay put? Shit. It's like he's like, really? Like we knock you down, you get back up, you come out of your grave, you dig yourself out of your grave, and you want to fight again. What is with you people? Stay in the damn ground already. Stop bothering us. So basically, he's like, come on, seriously? You know, had that been me, I probably would have reacted the same way, to be honest. Di and Wall are truly pathetic indeed. Observe how handily I alone have suppressed these weaklings, a simple task for yours truly. So Demaria was one of the enemies that were there. They actually, the Sky Sisters fought recently. She claimed that she is the one, the controller and ruler of time herself. But apparently, after meeting somebody who can exist out of time, they were able to put an end to the Maria's wishes of being able to take over of time itself. And the Sky Sisters were able to do that through through a technique that grants them the power to see into the future. Thus, the catch is they lose most of their magic, although it's not sure if they had lost their magic as of yet, because we pretty much like ran into another battle here. So you have Demaria there, like in her little formation there. And right now, Lucy is not being fair. She's not faring too well right now. So this is a huge issue. So question is not going to save the day. There's a possibility that'll be the case. So let's see. We have Urza here, still fighting, of course. Yeah, she seems to be faring pretty well, you know. But then when we talk about Urza, she can fare pretty well in battles. If she just kicks her right in the face, that's more like it. So Urza kicks one of the enemies in the face, and of course she punches her in the stomach. You know, so basically this turns more into like in a dirty fight. Like I hit you, you hit me back. I slam you, you slam me back into the floor, into some random object. That's what this kind of fight is turning on to. Like dirty battles are basically like that. You hit me, I hit you back. You know, within like a very short time period. It's just like a back and forth, really. At the end of the day. So right now she was faring well, but not anymore. Then we have this Azuma guy who just uses this crazy technique. He just, you know, that spark in your eyes, you will surely become someone else, Historia, in the near future. Yet another beautiful corpse. Tie her up. What is she doing? Like, sometimes, you know, I ask myself, what was the tying up in this? So she's tying her up now, and my question is, what is she up to? This really brings us back, doesn't it, Erza? How fondly I remember our time together in the underground torture chamber. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Okay. So here's the thing. Urza has a history with this woman here, and she's demented, in a sense. She recalls the torture chamber out of all places. So let's continue, and of course, we know it's going to lead to torture in the next chapter. I mean, in the next chapter, will lead to more torture, but in the next page 16, we're gonna see a whole lot of torturing going on because she's tied up. So, but let's see if Natsu actually comes in to save the day. As usual, he's the main character, so only convene the simple fact that he will actually save the day. So, would you like me to give you some more tender loving and care? Multiply her sense of pain by 10. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh my. Miss Kyuka, what improper conduct for a lady such as yourself. I prefer it if you just killed her without all this dawdling. Let's rise your sense of pain even more this time, shall we? Or would you rather I raise your sensitivity in a different way? Isn't this a wonderful trip down memory lane, Urza? Yeah, but I've had enough of this little reunion. There was indeed a time when you three stood in front of me, blocking my path. You were all fiercely powerful foes. However, so Urza's able to make a comeback. She's like, yeah, you know, but let me bring something up to you. You know the past is the past, right? I can easily kick your ass right now. I'm pretty much just toying with you guys at this point, and you probably didn't even notice it the entire time. That's pretty pathetic, really. That's what she's trying to convey in page 17, of course. And you all tasted defeat by my hands and lay prone before me. What? Silence. So basically, she continues to hurt her, but she pretty much overcame that pain she once inflicted on her. Her powers are pretty much useless against Urza at this point. Be gone, departed spirits, unless you wish to taste my blade once more. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Just as you heard it. Oh shit. Because Urza's no joke, really. She's a pretty strong character. Those eyes, inconceivable. It cannot be. Preposterous. So because she acquired the look again, that spark in her eyes, so that allowed her to defeat her past enemies. And just like they said, Historia is just pretty much history, bringing history back to life, not using actual bodies, it's using holographic, you know, you know, actions of the past and bringing them back to life and using them against his enemies to pretty much gain the upper hand. But now he sees that one person has overcome that, and it was Urza, and that means Urza now should have control of this battle. My Historia, they cowered in fear and banished that woman. Urza, what a horrific injury. Stay with us, Urza. So injuries are horrifying at this point, you know, but let's see what they could do about it. Jelal doesn't seem too happy about this, so rage, despair, horror, a myriad of emotions are rapidly blooming across the battlefield. Next issue, 25 pages, along with a color page. Urza's scarlet hair and this magic power. That woman, it cannot be Lady Ellen's. So he had no idea that she's kind of sort of has a close tie to Lady Ellen's or Ellen's, of course. And he's about to find out the hard way in the next chapter, 483, the 7 stars. He's about to find out what he's really about to go through. Because right now, Jelal does not seem to be the happiest guy in the world. He seems to be the angriest guy in the world at this point. So thank you very much for watching this reaction review. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me up on Twitter. And I'll have another review up today, the 7 Deadly Sins, coming up at you today as well. Normally speaking, I'm not feeling well today, but you know, I'm doing this all for the sake of my fans. Thank you very much and have a nice day.